Moreover, some tribes are a bit more emotional than others and flare into anger. However, one thing is certain, and it is that for the sake of Allah the Almighty, the love for Khilafat is not only deeply rooted in their hearts, but is flourishing. May Allah always increase their sincerity and fidelity. However, I was talking about the importance of speech to the Lajna. Indeed, a direct speech to ladies is highly important. Firstly, because more than 50% of the Jama'at comprises ladies. And secondly, because women constitute that class, rather I would say that institution in whose lap the future of every Jama'at and every nation develops and prospers. Once Khalifatul Masih Sani radhiyallahu anhu said, if you reform 50% of the women, Islam will have the victory. Thus, this is the importance of a woman, and this is her status. Indeed, this must cause every Ahmadi woman and every Ahmadi girl to realize her importance and her responsibilities. Realizing this importance, women of the past offered many sacrifices. History records countless incidents. Sometimes the standard of worship observed by females was much higher than that by males. Women's financial sacrifices were a lot higher than those of men. Women's sacrifices of their feelings and emotions were higher too. The sacrifice offered by women for their children was also higher than that by men. And for that matter, their sacrifice of lives was no less than that of men. In fact, men who demonstrated great examples of bravery and valor were in fact the product of the upbringing of such women who sent their children to the battlefield for the defense of Islam, saying, if you do not give up your life, then remember that you will no longer be mine. In short, no matter which field you look at, it was the women who not only caused a revolution but also became the source of bringing about a complete change in the destiny of man. It is a bogus allegation against Islam that Islam does not give women an equal status. Islam defines limits and specifies that this is the task of man and this is the work of a woman. But as for sin and virtue and reward for good works and punishment for evil deeds that have been specified for men have also been specified for women. In fact, being in charge of the training ground, that is to say, her husband's home, her home, and as a guardian of his wealth and his progeny. Islam has bestowed a very high status to a woman. Through the glad tidings that the paradise lies under the feet of mothers, we are told that by providing good education to your children, and that includes boys and girls, you can make them inheritors of the heaven and make them invaluable persons for your family. The Jama'at and also your nation. You too will receive the glad tidings of a heavenly abode and make your children worthy of it. On the other hand, by providing poor training to your children, you will not only earn a bad name in this world, but will become the recipient of Allah's wrath in the hereafter. Hence, Hazrat Muslim Maud radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu was informed by Allah Almighty that the transformation of 50% of women will lead the triumph of Islam. You should always observe this important fact. Being an Ahmadi Muslim, the foremost purpose of every Ahmadi woman should be to be ready for all kinds of sacrifices and strive for the victory of Islam. Lajna and Nasrat take the pledge in every ijtima and at every meeting. Most of you who live in this country, by grace of Allah, are well educated. You are mature in your thinking. I hope that when you repeat your pledge, you reflect over the words it contains. Lajna affirms that they shall always be ready to sacrifice their lives, property, time, and children for the cause of the faith and the community, shall always adhere to truth, and shall always be prepared to make every sacrifice for the perpetuation of the Ahmadiyya Khilafat. Similarly, Nasrat repeat the pledge that they shall always keep themselves ready to serve Islam, their nation and their country, and shall always adhere to truth. Nasrat should not think that they are little girls and their responsibilities are less than those of Lajna. Although you are young in age, the same responsibilities of Lajna are going to be vested in you. Therefore, prepare for this objective so that when these responsibilities fall on you tomorrow, you are equipped to discharge them better than your predecessors. Time passes quickly, so understand your responsibilities in this age.